Welcome. Next group. Let's introduce yourself.
I'm Hilary. I'm here with Matrix Explorer Scout Unit, and we're from Aylesbury in Buckinghamshire in the UK.
I'm Neil. I'm also from Matrix Explorer Scout Unit in the UK.
My name's Ben. We're from the Yorkshire Pudding Explorer Scout Unit based out of Selby, North Yorkshire in England.
So we have an English table over here.
We're doing
Yeah, all English. We just have a conversation and it was already going very well. So we kind of talk about the storm because you all have joined the first time of the Haarlem Jamborette in 2015, right?
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
So what can you tell me about the storm?
Well, our advance party came the day before and were on site and they were trying to put tents up during the storm and they couldn't get any of the gas that we'd hired or anything like that because I had all the paperwork on the coach. So they came over to the coach to get me, but our coach driver had run out of driving hours. So we were put on a double decker with a group from Sweden. Our explorers were on the top deck, the Swedish were on the bottom. But because it was a top deck, I couldn't stand up on the top deck. So I was stood on the stairs. I had to come to camp to get the gas. And then that left only one leader on the coach. And she was stuck there with the explorers for about 3 hours before they would allow the explorers onto the campsite. And when I came to get the gas, they wouldn't let me go back to the coach because the storm was too bad. So it was an interesting time.
It was a very interesting start to the camp. But what impressed us was the way the staff dealt with every issue that arose as a result of the storm. Where the tents had been wiped out, making sure that everybody had, got somewhere to stay, where their kitchens had been wiped out, the staff catering tent immediately sprung into action and catered for everybody. The local public and the, families of scouters nearby took home sleeping bags and everything to dry it all out. Just the way it all came together and everybody helped themselves, helped, everybody. It was just brilliant. And that is one of the reasons that we've come back now for the third time, because we were just so impressed.
The organisation was just fantastic. And just the fact that everybody mucked in and helped out. And it didn't matter what group you were from. If you saw somebody next to you having a problem, you just mucked in and helped out.
Our experience was largely the same. I think we were probably the last flight that was allowed to land in at Schiphol. We were carrying all of our own kits at the time, so we flew over with our tents, with our bags, with our everything that we needed, the stoves, everything. When we arrived on site, it was a fairly smooth run-in for us. We hadn't really anticipated the problems that had been, but everything was dealt with perfectly. We had absolutely no complaints. It was the most organised event camp that we've ever arranged, and it's still the happiest that we've ever been to, as has been said. Any problems, you just help each other out. You just work through it all. It's the embodiment of scouting, really. And it's the reason why we keep coming back. This is our third year again. And it's a regular thing now that we're hoping to keep going.
How you organize it in England in the 4 years to fundraise and to collecting money?
Well, one of the things that we've done is we actually run this camp alongside the World Scout Jamboree. So when we're doing the selection process for the Jamboree, we explain about this camp to the Explorer Scouts and the Scouts as well. And at the selection weekend, we pick 4 to go to the World Scout Jamboree, and then everybody else is invited to this. So it's not a consolation prize, it's run alongside it. So everybody gets an international opportunity if they want it. And actually it works really well as an alternative to the Jamboree, so that everybody gets that international experience. Yes, the two are slightly different, but actually it works well that they're different, and everybody gets a unique experience.
You still get a really good international here. You've got a really good mix of countries here. So, they can chat to people from other cultures. Like the opening games you did was a good opportunity for them to form up groups with people from other camps, from other cultures, other countries, and really sort of chat to them and work with them. So this is as good an international experience as the Jamboree. And we think it's a really good alternative, an alternative that is affordable, which is really important, in this current climate.
With inflation and stuff. Yeah. Do you also have a parallel program with the world?
We run something very similar. I believe we have a couple of our scouts in Korea at the moment. The person who knows these facts is currently running. He's currently walking the Punisher. He's also the one that helped organise this camp, or did all of the organising for this camp. I'm just an occasional helper at the moment. So I believe we have a group in Korea at the moment. But as we say, it runs at about the same sort of time as World Jamboree does Haarlem, so it's a good opportunity for everybody, for maybe the younger ones that don't get a chance to go to the Jamboree, to the World Jamboree, sorry, they can come here. And I was service crew for the World Jamboree in Essex, I believe 2007, and this for me is a far better experience. Sometimes the World Jamborees can be completely overwhelming, and I know there's all sorts of preparation camps and experience days that sort of build you up for it. But
much bigger, right?
It's much bigger, much bigger. But this, in my mind, is perfect. There's enough people to build up friendships, people that you can see time and time again and get to know and have a talk with, and you recognise people, going about your daily business, and there's always somebody to talk to and enjoy your day with.
It's a little village.
It's a little village. It's a community.
The right description for it is a small community, and it works really well.
And you don't have to walk such vast distances as you do at the Jamboree site.
Now, if you're surprised how many meters you walk right here. I've already walked this day 15,000 steps, and it's now 4:00.
Well, I was in West Virginia, and I was doing 30,000 steps a day.
Oh,
so this is much more manageable.
Yeah, this is better. This is better.
Better climate as well.
But how do you prepare to come here? Do you do fundraising, or costs you still money?
We worked out a budget, and we then split that between all the young people. So we charged our young people £700 a person to come, but then some of the costs went up, like the coach price went up, various other things went up. So we then did fundraising to cover the additional costs. So we did things like a quiz night, we did a race night, and they were really well supported by the parents and friends and family of those that were coming. And we raised £500 odd at the race night.
Nice.
Which was really good, and everybody just had a really good time, and it was a really nice atmosphere at the events, wasn't there?
Yeah, and we also applied to our local town council, and they gave us a grant towards the cost of the coach.
So that's really nice from them. Yeah, you don't hear that very often. And you guys?
So there is quite a bit of fundraising that we do. Anything from dropping leaflets off for the local town council. We've done bagpacking at supermarkets. It has to be said that sometimes people pay us to not let the scouts near their shopping. But either way, everything helps. So we do start, building the group up a good year in advance, so that the scouts that do come here do get to know each other, do get to build up a relationship before they're now together for 10 days. And so far that all seems to be working. We brought a great group. We've got 26 of them with us today. 23, sorry.
Did you really see that the children are all mixing with other nationalities and already been talking? And
So being typical teenagers, they spent the first day in their tents really shy, not wanting to do anything, playing on the phones. But the past, certainly last night and probably the night before, they have all been out and about. I know one of them has a birthday on Monday and he's been invited round for his tea at a friend that he met yesterday's sub-camp. So they're all mixing and mingling and meeting each other, meeting other scouts from all over the world. So from my perspective, that's what it's all about. That's really satisfying to see.
do you already see the children of the scouts already doing their stuff?
Our Explorer Scouts have been mixing and mingling with people from all sorts of different countries. We've got some scouts from Israel right next door to us, so they've had a bit of conversation and stuff with them. They've been swapping badges and scarves and things with various different countries, particularly Canada, because they took a real liking to the Canadian neckerchiefs. So
The
they've
Canadians like our duck
yeah.
emblem as
That's
well.
good.
So it's
The Explorer Scouts actually designed the logo for this year.
so we did that as part of our training.
Yeah.
Nice. I see a duck, a white duck with a English hat and English wings
And the
and a
Tank
K-23 flag. Yeah, they are really nice. And the Canadians have how would you say it? Yeah, like red colorish scarves on.
yeah, the very very colourful scarves, the Canadian scarves. So they're very sought after. But our ducks are equally sought after. So it's quite a good trade.
So it's now already swapping t-shirts
loads of swapping.
We had some badges made up with the duck on as well, and all our international neckerchiefs have got the duck logo on as well.
Oh, nice.
So we've gone all out with the duck theme this year, but also the duck is very relevant to where we come from, because Aylesbury, our hometown, is famous for its ducks.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why?
It's just one of those things
The
that
ducks used to be bred in Aylesbury and then taken into London to feed the upper class. It's a delicacy, Aylesbury duck,
they used to walk the ducks from Aylesbury into London.
and then kill them and eat them.
Yeah. But most commercial ducks that you buy now are actually crossbred between Aylesbury's and Peking. So yeah, there's still a demand for Aylesbury ducks.
Is there something special in your area?
So
Like something like the ducks?
So the Selby district logo is 3 swans. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure of the history or the background of it, but it's something that is on our international neckers. So we didn't really design a logo or a badge specifically for here. So we have the 3 swans as a logo and Haarlem take 23.
Nice.
We do, however, have our group badges. Unfortunately, our order for these badges didn't come through in time to get here, so we don't have many sort of swaps or trade, but we do have there's a badge that was designed in the Explorer group when I was in Explorers 18 years ago, 20 years ago. It's probably not the classiest badge you'll ever see, but it's definitely ours. It is a Yorkshire pudding with arms and legs and a smiley face on. It's not something I could personally take credit for, but I know who did it. He's now a graphic designer, I believe, professionally. So
Wow.
We didn't think it would last as long as it had, but it's proven quite popular with other people. It is unique.
We're going to talk about the last events of the last 3 years. What is a perfect story to describe what you have experienced, or we can really laugh about it? But can you tell me a story?
I'll try not to bring politics into it. So I think about it.
I think each event has been very different from the other, which actually has been really good. The fact that the theme has changed every time. So 2015 was Cartoon Your Camp. And I remember we had the big screens up everywhere with all the different sub-camp avatars developing from little eggs to stars to... so that was really interesting. And then how you guys changed it from that to what was almost, in essence, a steampunk sort of vibe last year, because we went from Yellow Lands to Yale Lost in Time with all the clocks and the cogs, and so we tweaked our logo last year to match the theme of the camp last year. So we had some t-shirts done, and as I say, we tweaked our logos to tie in with the theme of the camp. And then to do something completely different again this year, I think that's what keeps us coming back, is the Jamborette itself is really well organised. But every time we come, it's
Imagination,
completely
the dedication
different.
of what's...
And there's different
What's been
activities, and yeah, it is that imagination. And
The thrill is also every year they have different activities created, constructed. There's only a couple of things that stay the same, like the tower. But the rest is totally different, totally new games. Like live Stef Stumppiloot is a Dutch, I think you have it also in England, but it's a children game with airplanes, and you need to push it on the right moment to get the airplane going up, and then and to try to knock off the coins of the other players. They have built it here in 10 to 50 meters construction, so you can do it with a tank of water. That's also what takes us every time back to create something new, to do new stuff, what you normally don't do in your normal life, like talking English in a podcast. What are your plans for the free day? You already know what you're going to do.
yeah, we're going to take the Explorer Scouts into Haarlem itself, have a good look around Haarlem, let them go off in groups, do some souvenir shopping. We're going to go on the train, so that'll be something a bit different.
Not Amsterdam?
Haarlem's a little bit closer. If we've got the time and the budget, then maybe we'll go to Amsterdam. But it was just a good idea to take them into some of the local area, get them to have a good look around.
See something of Holland and not just the site.
Yeah, of course. I come from Haarlem, so
Right.
that's the.
But you don't think Haarlem's very interesting?
Nee, Haarlem is very interesting. Very interesting. I can give you a list of things you can visit,
Excellent.
or history
Come and visit
stuff,
you then.
or sorry.
We'll come and visit you to plan our trip then.
No, we do it after the podcast. We do a list and then we say what you can visit. And what are you going to do on the free day?
So I believe we are heading into Amsterdam. We got the iAmsterdam card. So we're getting the train in the morning. Then I believe we're going to split our group into two. We thought a pod of, 29 scouts might be a bit intimidating to a few people. So we're splitting the group in half. Half is going to the Science Museum, Nemo in the morning. Other half is going to the zoo in the morning. Then we've got a boat trip just round the canals to just relax a bit and rest. And then the groups are swapping over. So the group that did Nemo will do the zoo in the afternoon and vice versa.
That's really impressive for a lot of young people. I could remember that there was also a trip in 2003 at the 1st of August with a group of English people, young scouts, went to Amsterdam on the 1st of August to do also a boat trip. But then it's Pride Week. So they were looking, is this the Netherlands?
Yeah.
What's going on?
We went into Amsterdam 2015 because I think that was a trip organised as part of the Jamborette. And we went to the Science Museum, which was really, really interesting. Really interesting.
It's really good.
Thoroughly enjoyed.
And then afterwards, they went into Amsterdam, and it was Pride Week then as well.
I have a very similar memory of that.
Some of the Explorer Scouts were like, whoa.
Is this the Netherlands?
Also, it was really good because the Pride Week was all done on different boats, and they were all different colours.
It's very colourful.
You know.
Yeah.
Whereas back home, they'd sort of march through London or Manchester or somewhere like that, and it's all on foot. So actually, to see it all on different boats,
The river, yeah.
on the river and things, was really interesting.
Way of doing things, yeah. And I believe in 2019, we asked the explorers what they wanted to do, and they gave us a whole list of things they wanted to see. So we attempted to do all of them. I think we visited probably 7 places over the day. Very quick pit stop in Nemo, then the Van Gogh Museum, then there was the Micropy, then there was the zoo, then there was a boat trip, then there was all of these sort of things. We managed to squeeze it all in about 12 hours or so.
That's hard.
That was hard.
Work.
But they were the options they gave us, so we thought we'd just show them as much as we possibly could. That is still an option this year, but we shall see. We shall see how they fare after the Punisher this afternoon.
The first groups were yellow already in the train. We have set the record again.
Excellent.
Oh,
Good.
excellent.
What we
That's
like to
really
hear.
good.
Yes, yellow set the record again. Yeah, I said we because I'm a subcon staff for 3 years, and you can get the yellow, you can get the boy out yellow, but you cannot get the yellow out of the boy, right?
That's what we
Well,
said to the explorers the other day about embracing the yellow spirit.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All 3 years we've been in yellow.
And what is the yellow spirit?
Just enjoy yourself, make the most of
Have
it,
fun.
have fun, just
Go
get
for
out
it.
there and do things.
You know what's the most beautiful thing that you say this? The most beautiful thing is that Jeff has been here for the 10th time, and he is also saying this exactly the same. Do your thing. Nobody's gonna blame you. Do your thing. Make fun.
No
make
judgment.
friends. No judgment.
Well, some of our explorers yesterday decided after lunch that they wanted to burn off a bit of energy, so they were dancing in front of our gazebo. Excuse me. And lots of other people were like, "That looks fun," and they just joined the end of the line. So they started.
We had a massive Macarena all the way down the wad.
And that is what I like about subcamps and about the Haarlem Jamborette in general. There can be a spark, and suddenly everybody is dancing the Macarena.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're done because the camera is also done. Right, the Marcus? It was a good conversation, guys.